Reproductive rights have been the subject of debate in the United States for over 50 years and have created a divide in our society over whether or not those able to have children should have the right to control their bodies. These rights, specifically legal access to safe abortions, have become not only an issue of law, but an issue of morality. Depictions of abortion in modern pop culture highlight the opposing viewpoints on the issue, while also highlighting how deeply personal and affecting the decision can be. Reproductive rights are often a central issue in people's lives. Having the ability to decide whether and when to have children is incredibly important to the socioeconomic well-being and overall health of those who can become pregnant. In fact, according to the National Campaign to Prevent Teen and Unplanned Pregnancy, research suggests that being able to make decisions about one's own reproductive life and the timing of one's entry into parenthood is associated with greater relationship stability and satisfaction. So why does our government think that they have a say in such a personal decision? This is exactly what Roe v. Wade ruled to protect.
Good evening. In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today legalized abortions. The majority in cases from Texas and Georgia said that the decision to end a pregnancy during the first 3 months belongs to the woman and her doctor, not the government. Thus, the anti-abortion laws of 46 states were rendered unconstitutional.
Rather than viewing the case as an issue of right or wrong, Roe v. Wade argued that abortion was an issue of privacy. A feminist sociological framework can help us understand the importance of protecting this privacy. In fact, the feminist movement has played and continues to play a huge part in continuing the fight for reproductive rights. Feminist theory focuses on analyzing gender inequality, examining women and men's social roles and experiences. As Simone de Beauvoir states, women are made to see motherhood as the essence of their life and the fulfillment of their destiny. But this notion is simply outdated and untrue for many women. 24% of women in the United States will have an abortion by age 45. And 59% of women who get abortions are already mothers. There are plenty of possible reasons behind the decision to get an abortion. And it's important to recognize that the decision is typically motivated by multiple, diverse, and interrelated reasons. The most commonly cited response, at 74%, was that having a child would interfere with a woman's education, work, or ability to care for dependents. At 73%, not being able to afford a child at the moment. And at 48%, having relationship problems and not wanting to be a single parent.
I feel like I'm supposed to ask you if this is what you want. I mean, as your husband.
Yeah. It's not the right time.
All share is that they are personal to the individual and all have to do with wanting a better future for themselves and their families if they choose to have one in the future. We already know the alternative to legal, safe abortion access. Women will go back to taking measures into their own hands, to seeking out the procedure in places that are often unsafe, and terminating pregnancies in ways that can lead to serious health complications or death. Viewing reproductive rights from a feminist standpoint is almost unavoidable since it is such a central issue to the lives of women, and many have lost their lives throughout history for simply trying to control their own lives. Even seeking out legal abortion puts people at risk. Reproductive rights are so vehemently denied that some have turned to violence to protest abortion access. Since 1977, there have been 8 murders, 17 attempted murders, 42 bombings, and 186 arsons targeted at abortion clinics and providers across the United States. The Trump administration has proven to be a huge threat to reproductive rights. Trump has literally stated that overturning Roe v. Wade will happen automatically, in my opinion, because I'm putting pro-life justices on the court, which he has done successfully in appointing Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, who both have long records of opposing abortion and add to the now conservative majority in the U.S. Supreme Court. Currently, 20 states have laws ready to ban abortion if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. In 2019 alone, 58 abortion restrictions have been enacted in 19 states, including 25 abortion bans. Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Ohio enacted heartbeat bills banning abortion at 6 weeks, a period when most women aren't even aware they are pregnant. Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Tennessee adopted legislation banning abortion if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. And Alabama has enacted a near total ban on abortion, with no exceptions for rape or incest. These attacks warrant serious action and concern, and some states already have responded to them with legislations to protect a person's right to choose. According to the Guttmacher Institute, more proactive legislation, including measures on sex education and contraception access, was enacted than abortion restrictions and bans in this year. So far, in 2019, states have enacted 93 proactive provisions, including 29 that protect abortion rights, 11 that increase access to contraceptive services, and 15 that improve sex education. Individual states are also enacting laws protecting abortion, such as New York's Reproductive Health Act, which treats the procedure as health care. Multiple states, such as Illinois and Rhode Island, have since followed suit. While the Trump administration has, in a sense, reignited the war on reproductive rights, the reality is that most of the United States doesn't oppose abortion. Despite the victory of Roe v. Wade's passing back in 1973, the years since have proven that the fight for reproductive rights has not yet been won and that they are directly under attack. The good news is that the fight keeps going. In March of this year, the Women's Health Protection Act of 2019 was introduced to Congress, a bill which would federally protect the right to abortion and protect access from unnecessary restrictions that no similar medical procedure has. Reproductive rights are human rights, and it's up to us to continue to fight for them.